Okay, so today we're going to talk about humidifier startup for fall-winter season. Currently, your humidifier system should be shut down if it was shut down properly during the summer. And so we're going to kind of reverse those steps and get it set up for the winter. Whether it be a Honeywell, April Air, or any other brand of humidifier, they're all very going to look similar to this and have the similar design and features, and basically all operate the same way. One of the things we're going to start out with before we open this thing up is identifying the model, brand and model number, which is going to be underneath the underside of the unit here. And I recommend you write that down because purchasing a humidifier pad, you're going to need that model number. Again, these pads can be picked up at Home Depot, Lowe's, just by having that model number, and they cost around 12 bucks. So once we have the model number, we're going to open up this housing just by unscrewing this at the bottom here. We're going to slide this cover out of the way. And what you'll notice is the humidifier pad. These things are kind of messy for fall startup. It's nothing dangerous. They look bad, but all it is hard water buildup. So this whole cartridge will pop out. We're just going to slide that out and get a better view of the filter. The actual fiber filter is in this contraption here and just pops open and slide that out. And again, all this is hard water buildup. It's not mold. It's not anything dangerous. Some pads are going to look worse than others. It just depends on the nature of the water coming into the home. So we're just going to set this aside for now. But before we activate the system, we would change that pad. The next part we're going to identify on the system is going to be what's called the bypass duct. It's going to look like almost like an exhaust vent, and it's going to go to the other side of the furnace ducting here. And on this duct, you'll find a damper that it should be labeled either winter or summer. We're going to want to open that damper so that air can travel through this for winter use. During the summer, this damper is closed and is perpendicular to this. So we're going to open that up for winter use. Now that our bypass duct is open, the next thing we're going to identify and find in the property is going to be the humidify stat. All of them are going to look very similar to this, shape and size, color, and oftentimes they're going to be located within a couple feet of the utility closet system itself. Or sometimes you will find them mounted by thermostats or in an upper hallway. Just depends on where the homeowner had it located. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to find them in the utility room itself. So during the summer, this humidistat is going to be in the off position because we are not requiring any humidity during the summer. During the winter, we actually want to turn this on to between 30 and 40% is about the standard protocol for humidity in a home. Best way to identify whether or not you have proper humidity in your house is based off the static electricity in the home. If you're incurring static electricity at light switches or touching certain items in the home, I would recommend increasing this about 5% until that goes away, and that's usually a good indicator that you have the proper humidity in the home. Once we've identified the humidistat and I set that to between 30 and 40% for startup, we would say that this has a new filter in it, and put this back together. One thing that is important in this is at the bottom of this cartridge, my pinky identifying there, is a drain tube. All the excess water that comes off this pad is going to come out this drain tube and needs to land in this drain hole when you reinstall this. That's about the most important piece of reinstall, is just making sure that that lines up with this drain tube. The excess water will travel down this line and should go into your floor drain. It is pretty typical for these to bleed off quite a bit of accessible water during operation. It is normal. It's just part of the process. Nothing's leaking. Nothing to be concerned about. So once we have this all put back together, the last thing we're going to identify is the water supply. If you follow the copper line or vinyl tube line that comes into the system, usually what is done is they've installed a saddle valve for the water supply here. Simple righty-tighty is closed, lefty-loosey is open. This valve is currently open. They should usually be open and not turned off during summer. Since these are solenoid controlled, the water always stays live, and until this system is activated and gets a signal from the humidistat, it's not going to send any water. So this valve is actually on, and most all the ones that you'll find are usually left on. But for some reason, if it is closed, open it up, and that'll provide water to the humidifier. That's about it for operation. Once all those pieces are done and the cover's back on, the humidifier stat is set, the system takes care of itself. It'll operate as needed based on the humidity in the home. Filter, you only change it once a year, so during startup, and then at the end of the year, you shut the system down, leave the filter in there, change it out again in fall. That concludes humidifier startup for fall winter.